Hey everybody, it's Haley Hobson, and I am super excited to introduce you today to Erica Wiley, who is a very young entrepreneur making almost six figures at only, did you say 29 years old or 27 years old?
27.
27 years old. This girl is a rock star. She's created her own business over the last couple of years, worked really hard, has got a lot of things going on, and I wanted to invite her here to share with you today how she's done this and raised five children at the same time, okay? So all of you who think that you can choose one or the other, you are wrong. This girl has done it, and she's going to share her thoughts with you. So welcome, Erica.
Thank you, Haley. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you too. Will you tell everybody what has been going on with you the last couple of years while you've been raising your babies? How old are they? When did you start your business? What's going on with your business?
Well, so I'll start out, like you said, we have five kids. And the youngest is 3, the 2 boys are 7, and we've got almost 9. And then we've got 2 girls in high school, so 16 and 14. It is a full house. The kids move between houses. You know, we're a blended family, but there's always something going on. So I actually I wanted to have my own business because of my children. You know, I had previously gotten divorced. I was in a decent job. It wasn't something I was excited about, but when I got laid off from it, literally it was like the straw that, you know, broke the camel's back. I just kept thinking, never again. I'm not going to be at someone else's whim. And so it became really important to me to find a way that I can create money from home. And I ended up teaming up with another person from that same company who's, you know, we got married. But, we started dating, and he's a web developer, Rick, and I told him one day, I said, you know, this is silly looking for jobs. We should partner up. We should start a business together, because my background had been marketing and sales for 10 years. And he's like, all right, I'll take a chance. I'll trust you. I was 22 at the time.
Wow.
So, yeah. But we did it. We went forward. We created Profit Geeks. What we have is basically a marketing and web design agency. And it's just been so exciting, especially the past 2 years. The growth has been incredible, just being able to bring on new team members. But what's a little unique about our business is we have a very holistic mindset. A lot of our clients are online business owners, you know, coaches, authors, consultants, and a lot of them are parents. And so, you know, we just love that. We love being able to work with people in that community. And from working with clients on website projects and just getting to know them and become friends with them, we discovered that other people were going through similar struggles with being an entrepreneur, working from home, when is kids time, when is family time, and it's something that, you know, we went through on our own, as I'm sure you've experienced, Haley, right?
Yeah, I mean, today I was having like a major meltdown because I couldn't get my work done in the sort of morning kids at school section of time like I normally do, because I'm leaving tomorrow for 2 weeks out of town. So by the time I started my work day, it was like 3 o'clock, and there was chaos and kids coming in and play dates coming in and dogs running all over my clean floor and husbands coming in all sweaty and phones ringing and doorbells ringing, and it was nuts. And I feel like, you know, it's 6:45 now at night, and I'm like finally plugging in and starting my work day. So yeah, I mean, I think that as moms, we have, you know, I know you don't like to call it time management, but we do have time issues because we get busy and stuff comes up, and you have to take a big breath and just say, okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to figure out another time to get it done, right?
Yeah. When I was reading through your site before, you said something which I loved, which is it's about priorities. And that we found was really the key to unlocking success for us. You know, it looks different for everybody, and it's knowing what your priorities are and having that foundation that whatever decision you make for your business or for your family, as long as it's by that guideline, everything's going to work out. But we found that that was huge. When we sat down and figured out, okay, what's our priority, we were able to set boundaries literally with everything. And time was a big part of that. Our business was a big part of that. When were we going to work? When was going to be kid time? When were we willing to do appointments? And you know, a lot of people post those questions online, like when's the best time? But only you can truly know. But at least, you know, there's that starting point. You know, a lot of people are like, well, like I said, I'm 27. So a lot of people, when they first hear that, they're like, oh, well, you're young. You can do it because you're young and you have energy. And I'm here to tell you, I get tired. I'm tired now. You know, it's not just it's not age. You can do it no matter what age you are.
Yeah. And the other thing besides setting priorities is that we just have to sometimes accept the fact that even though we want things to get done by a certain time, they might not always get done by that certain time. And even though we project that that's going to happen, there are going to be times where we have to kind of let go of it and move on and go, okay, well, it's going to happen 3 hours from now, or it's going to happen 3 days from now. I know I just tried to launch an online store on my website, and the due date was going to be March 1st. We were going live, right? And we finally got it up like March 15th, which was only 2 weeks late, but 2 weeks late that I was, like, hey guys, we said March 1st. And, last year when it was my website, it was 4 months late. So, like, you have to be okay with, certain things not happening. You want to set guidelines, but kids are going to get in the way, right? Spouses are going to get in the way. Activities are going to get in the way. And if we can be a little bit more realistic when that stuff comes up and not beat ourselves against the wall, right, and recognize that is life, then I think we're going to be okay with it. So tell us, I know that you help other people manage their businesses, but how do you manage yours with 5 kids?
So I'll tell you, I don't know, it must have been a few years ago, I've heard this from more than one coach. Come into the picture and, maybe the first session or so, they say, okay, well, tell me what your dream day is, right? If you can wave that magic wand, what would your life look like? And then, I've just seen some people try to move from that statement of what that dream life would look like into producing it tomorrow. And that's not reality, because then we'll set unrealistic expectations. Like you were just saying, we have to have them realistic. And a lot of people do that and get set up for failure that way. So what we decide is like, okay, we'll do that. We'll establish what that dream day is. And then we paired that with our priorities and said, well, based on where we are today, right now, how much of that can we integrate? And that's just literally what we started doing. And from that's what I created the ABS method, which is basically A/B block scheduling. Because as entrepreneurs, especially working from home, there's some consistency to our life, right? And I've kind of narrowed it down, so there's only 3 ways that my day can go. I'm either home all day, or I go out in the morning, or I go out in the later part of the day, right? For a normal day. We're not talking about like when vacation or things come up. Just like a typical day is going to be one of those 3. And so what I did was literally went through every hour of the day and decided what that was going to be dedicated towards. And I did that for those 3 days. So I call them schedule templates. And what I've done is taken my real life and then put in the dream schedule to what my real life is on any of those 3 normal possibilities. And that's been huge because it's a system that I can follow. But one of the biggest things why my clients have had success with it is it's a system you can get back on if you fall off the bandwagon. So there's a lot of programs out there, and some people work with Frank and Covey and stuff works for them, and that's great. But again, when I'm doing my research online and I'm seeing what women and different entrepreneurs are saying on these forums, it's that I lack discipline. I can't. If I could only manage my time if I had discipline. And so when we fall off the wagon, we tend to think, there's no way I can get back on. That system was too complex. I'll have to start from the beginning. And the beauty of the schedule template is not only can you get back on the wagon if you fell off an hour ago, because all you do is you look at the template and say, oh, okay, what am I supposed to be doing at 4 p.m.? What have I already prioritized this time for? If you fall off of it days later, just look at your calendar and whatever appointments you have, match it up with the correct template, and you just pick up and keep going.
Right. It's kind of like what happened to me today. What happened to us today, right? We tried to do an interview earlier today, and first my 5-year-old came down and started putting potato chips on the couch in the middle of it. Then we kicked her outside again, and her friend came over and wanted a popsicle. Then we kicked her out again, and the neighbor came by and wanted to pick up something. And I was like, all right, we're not doing this. And I had a choice. I could have scheduled it for 2 weeks from now because I'm like gone starting tomorrow, or we just figure it out. We get back on later, get back on that wagon, just we were talking about, a few hours later. So that's a great piece of advice. I love that. I really love that. I really admire your tenacity and your dedication and your motivation to make your business work. And I'm really impressed that I don't hear any kids in the background, that my house with only 2 kids is friggin' chaos. I want you to tell me, before we go off, what if you had to give anybody a top tip to stay focused and get it done, make their business happen, and not get distracted or put off or go nuts because of the chaos around them, what would you say?
The key to staying on task, to getting back on the bandwagon if you fall off, is knowing what you're getting back onto. So at the end of the day, it's having a system. You have to find the system that works for you, whether it's something like, our abs method, or whether it's, something else, get it done, whatever it is. You have to commit to, this is a system that works for me, because it's the recycling problem where I'm seeing most entrepreneurs get tripped up. They try one thing and then they try another, and every time you're down, you go into research mode, which you know what that cycle's like. So the key is commit to what's going to work for you, and when you fall off the bandwagon, resist going into research mode and thinking, oh, well, there must be something else, because if you've been doing that a few times, you'll be able to self-identify when you're really avoiding and when something didn't really work for you. So that's the biggest thing. If you have a system, then you can get back onto it, and then you just keep moving forward. And the reality is, there are going to be, especially if you have kids, there's going to be days that go wrong. There are going to be days of rescheduling. You can't take that as a sign of this isn't working out. It's just a sign.
And I think what I would add to that is that if you're working from home and you are an entrepreneur, there's going to be, you're never going to feel like you have that work week, right? You're never going to feel like you have a Monday through Friday work day. You're never going to feel like, 9 to 5 are your work hours. And I think that, if I was to give somebody advice, I would, first of all, totally agree with you. But then I would say, you know what? Sometimes I have to work all day on Saturday or Sunday, but then I can go skiing on Wednesday, right? Or I can go out to California on Tuesday, or I can get my hair done all day on Friday, or whatever that is. And if you kind of like let yourself go with the flow, and you work with the schedule that you have just stated works for you and your family and your business, it'd be easier to accomplish what you want to accomplish, just staying on track.
Absolutely. I can give you a great example of that, if we have a minute. I'm not sure how we are in time. Last year, so in 2014, we did a 7-week road trip. We took the boys on a 7-week road trip around the U.S. And it was just amazing. It was something that we had wanted to do. And building in that flexibility and putting in those times where, okay, we're working through weekends. One time that we do that in our business is when we're launching a client's website. So anytime we're in a launch, now we work weekends. Normally we don't, but launch mode, we're working weekends. But we knew, okay, this is what it's leading up to. We do that work now, and then we're going to have this large span of time. And it was just amazing. It was absolutely incredible. We went in this giant circle around the states, and we live in New York, so we started in New York and went all the way down from the north through the south. But that's what it is. If you know what's important to your family, you know what you're after, you just commit to what you're going to use to get there. And when you fall off, you just get back on.
Yeah, I love that. So what's in store for you for the rest of 2015 going to 2016? Where do you guys see your business, and what else are you adding to your business right now?
So for Profit Geeks, a big thing for us right now is that we are team building, and that's just been really, really thrilling. One of the things that we really care about is job opportunities, especially for people at risk who have a harder time getting into jobs, and we want to be able to offer these people higher tech jobs. So we're working right now on a lot of initiatives to bring into local community organizations some tech training, just some really basic web stuff, getting people familiar with WordPress. I guess you could equate it to training people to be able to do some jobs that you might think normally like a VA would do. Right. So far we've been able to bring on a few team members in different states who come from those demographics that we're looking to help, and that has just been absolutely thrilling. So we're really expanding our team and who we're able to serve both inside of our team as well as with our clients. That's great.
That sounds fun. And do you have anything else that you're doing on the side that you're bringing extra residual income with?
Yes, actually. And I know we were talking before about reoccurring income and other streams. I started my own Mary Kay independent beauty consultant business last year. My mom had been a consultant, and so I've been using the products for years. And I just love it, it's my girly business. It's my girly time because I'm always wearing my tech hat. I'm always wearing my geek hat. But I absolutely love it. And I told a colleague of ours, Amy Nowakowski from Ginger Snaps, that I just couldn't turn away the additional income stream because it was kind of staring me in the face. I'm like, I'm already out there. I'm already doing speaking. I'm young. I get compliments. And I'm like, I need to introduce this. So that's been going really well, but I love that it's a different business model than our Profit Geeks. Profit Geeks, we're doing a lot of service-based. I am doing some time, trade when it comes to consulting hours. And then with the Mary Kay business, it's product-based, and so I've got those reoccurring sales. So I'm definitely encouraged someone
to
to
still super time consuming. I'm in network marketing too. Love it. Flexible schedule, but still a lot of work when you're building a business. So hats off to you for doing both of those, and also for seeing and realizing that there's such a great income stream that can come in from that, and why not have more so that you can have more abundance and more fun with your family.
Yeah, there's so many options out there that pair really well with what we're doing. Like I'm seeing a lot of health coaches who are moving into network marketing as well. I think it's a solid move.
It's awesome. All right, well, will you tell everybody where they can find you?
Absolutely. You can find me at profitgeeks.org. And if you're interested in learning more about our time management program, it's called Full Plate Hustle, and you can find that at fullplatehustle.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time several times today to try to get on with me. I really appreciate it. You're rocking it, and I'm sure everybody here is super grateful that you found the time.
Thank you, Haley.
Yeah, you're welcome.